Good evening. My name is David. I am an ordinary American from Philadelphia, running to fill the gap left by RFK Jr. as a viable third option in the coming presidential election. In doing so, my party will try to correct the mistakes made by recent third parties and be a model for what an effective third-party candidacy can look like in the 21st century. The two-party system is America's abusive boyfriend. We keep coming back to it, not because we believe its promises anymore, nor because we seriously expect it to get any better, but because we don't feel that we have anywhere to go. Therefore, if we want change to happen, we have to have an exit plan. Some have said that they would rather have some random American running the country than either of our two political parties. Well, I am some random American. In any case, the problem with the two-party system is that it deprives anyone of any real choice. For the past generation, if you are a liberal, you have had no real choice but to vote for the Democrats. If you are a conservative, you've had no real choice but to vote for the Republicans. If you have differing views on taxes or healthcare or abortion or Israel or anything that you want to express, too bad. It's vote or go home. It creates the illusion of choice, while almost no voter has more than one candidate than they're seriously considering. And therefore, neither of the major parties has any reason to accomplish anything, or get any better, or listen to what voters actually want. And for the past 30 years or so, they haven't. Our healthcare system is still broken, wages have not grown since the 1980s, and individual Americans are less secure in all sorts of ways. So, why haven't third parties succeeded, given all that? The simple reason is that you cannot vote for a third party and a major party. If you try to do it, your ballot will simply be thrown out. If you are a Green supporter, you cannot vote for the Democrats and Jill Stein. If you are a Libertarian supporter, you cannot vote for the Republicans and whatever that dude's name is, Gary something. If you want to vote for the party that you actually like, you have to throw your major party under the bus. Rationally, most voters choose not to do this, and therefore third parties cannot gain any traction. So, why? Why can't we just have open ballots? Why can't we vote for whoever we want? Why can't we just check the box next to any candidate we feel is qualified? We wouldn't have to change anything. We wouldn't have to redesign the ballots. We wouldn't have to change how the winner is determined. It's just whoever gets the most votes. The only reason for it is to entrench the power of the two-party system. But if we were to allow open ballots, allow people to vote their consciences, we could finally allow real competition back into our political system. This is the mistake that I think that most third parties have been making for the last century, which is they've been pretending to run ordinary campaigns instead of uniting together to change the ballot system, without which there cannot be any real progress. So, how do we solve the chicken and egg problem of addressing the viability of third parties by running a third-party candidacy? On this point, I am sad to say that all of the other third parties are sadly in tragic denial. They really have no plan at all. They try to run ordinary campaigns all the way through election day, which forces their voters to throw the election to the other side if they want to vote for who they want. Obviously, this kamikaze maneuver has fairly limited support. None of these parties have any answer to the question. None of them think that they need an answer to the question, why should I throw my vote away? So, what to do? We need to turn the fatal flaw of third parties into our saving grace. We need to turn our weakness into our greatest strength. They say that third parties can swing the election. Yes, they can. As third parties, we can deny this fact, or we can start using it. And this is our plan. If by mid-October we are inexplicably not polling first or second, then we will drop out of the election and negotiate with both major parties to deliver our voters in exchange for them supporting open ballot measures in the states that their party controls, beginning with the following election cycle. RFK had 20 million voters and he still dropped out of the election. We obviously cannot compete with the major parties on their own terms. But while 20 million voters even is out of reach for us, I believe that there is a path to 20,000 voters. And 20,000 voters would have been enough to swing the election in 3 of the major swing states in 2020. In short, we are going to use our small number of voters to pressure the major parties into opening their ballots to third-party candidates. In a sense, we are going to use our votes as bargaining chips, just like a real political party might. Well, to do this, we need something to bargain with, and that is where you come in. If you want to join us, you need to be willing to follow our endorsement to vote for either major party in the coming election. This means that you need to be able to put the open ballot policies above party loyalty and be willing to vote for either the Republican candidate or the Democratic candidate, in particular, whoever offers us the strongest deal on open ballots. Now, I am aware that only a minority of those watching this video will be willing to do something like that. Frankly, I get it, and I'm not going to try to convince anyone, but I would invite you to consider the following. If you are truly unwilling to change your vote for any reason, then at the very least, you must agree with our original idea that you as an American really have no choice in the coming election. What's more, if, again, you are unwilling to change your vote at all, then neither party has any reason to care about what you think or listen to what you have to say. If you want your voice to be heard, you have to use it. And if you want your vote to be heard, you have to use it. And that is what we are proposing to do. In any case, if you're not willing to vote with us, then thank you for your attention, but there's no way that you can help us this year. So, for those who still remain, here is what we need. Number 1, commit to vote with us by filling out the Google form in the description. These are the numbers that we are going to use in our negotiations in October. Second, we need volunteers to help round up others to make the same commitment, so get in touch. And third, we need a vice presidential candidate. So if you know anyone who's qualified, send us their resume. My fellow citizens, the two-party system doesn't love you, and it's not going to get better. You have to move out. There will never be an easy time, so the right time is today. Thank you. Good night. God bless America.